Question for you. Do you ever get home after a long day, sitting at the table with the family, all of a sudden you notice it? Little Johnny or Julie scratching away at their scalp?
Oh, this goes on all night, and then it crosses your mind. It can't be. There's no way. It's just not possible. Lice.
But yep, after further investigation, you're convinced your child has come home with an infestation of the creepy crawlers. Now rest assured, your child is not the only one who's had to deal with this. The CDC reports there are up to 12 million infestations of head lice every year in children ages 3 to 11. So today we learn more about the itchy little buggers and how one mother is determined to change the stigma that comes with them.
Live bugs and viable eggs setting up shop in your child's hair. It sounds, well, awful.
They're little parasites that are designed to hold on to the to a hair shaft, and that's where they live. And they feed off the blood in your scalp. And they don't fly or hop between things. They actually have to just crawl. So they have to crawl from head to head or from clothing to clothing.
Kids are most prone to lice between the preschool and elementary school ages. Dr. Agan says if lice are suspected, it's best to check behind the ears and at the base of the neck for the bugs. She recommends an over-the-counter kit as the first line of defense, a shampoo to kill the bugs, followed by a special comb to pull out the nits or the eggs.
If you are checking every 2 to 3 days, you'll know before anybody if your child has it again.
For many parents, the process of delicing is overwhelming. That's where the Nit Nanny comes in. A mom who wants to help and who makes house calls.
And every mom that calls me, they're panicked. So the first thing I have to do is just calm them down. It's just lice. It's nothing we can't get through in 1 hour.
She's the answer to many parents' prayers. Betsy Harrington started the Nit Nanny business out of her home. The idea was born after her own son picked up lice at school.
I went to the pharmacy, paid however much money, bought new pillows, bought new combs and brushes, and I even bought a new mattress. And people do that. I mean, you just go overboard.
With her calming voice and careful hands, Betsy clears the bugs with a non-toxic shampoo and follows up with a meticulous combing routine to remove the eggs.
Kids who are very social, kids who like to be together, those are the kids who wind up passing it around.
Now, if your child does wind up with lice, as you just heard the Nit Nanny say, it's no big deal. Just do what you need to do to get rid of it. And Lisa, you have more on that.
Jimmy, simple steps can go a long way in getting rid of lice. You just have to know what you're looking for. So joining us today to help us understand the process is Diane Pellegrino, Health Services Coordinator for Wicomico County. Thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you.
So first of all, help us out here. What is head lice? Where does it come from? How do we get it?
Head lice are tiny little bugs that actually feed off the scalp of the human beings that they are on. And they are really just a nuisance. They don't, I want to emphasize, they don't spread disease. They don't cause illness in children or adults. But some of the things you want to look for, if your child is scratching their head a lot, you might want to, and they're in younger grades, we tend to see this more in the younger grades than in the older grades. You might want to just check their head, put them under some good light, and look for the scratching. Look for any small red bumps because, like I said, they feed off the scalp and the blood from the scalp. I hate to say that.
Yeah.
You will see, you may see some live lice. If not, you want to look especially around the nape of the neck, behind the ears. You may see what's called nits, and these are the eggs that the lice lay. And you'll know it, they don't brush away like a speck of dust would.
Like dandruff would.
Like dandruff would. They have to be actually pulled off. They actually glue themselves to the hair shaft, and they have to be pulled off.
Being clean or dirty, does that have anything to do with whether or not you get lice?
It has nothing to do with it. Lice do not know the difference between clean hair and dirty hair.
But it only takes one live nit, right?
One live nit, and that is why it is so important to get all the nits out of the child's hair. Because if you do not, you don't know if those nits are dead or alive. Even though you've used your lice shampoo and you've used your comb, there may be some nits remaining, and you don't know whether they're dead or alive.
Okay, so we see our child might have them. What do we do?
The first thing you want to do is, I would simultaneously take my child and shampoo their hair with a lice treatment recommended shampoo that you can get over the counter at the drugstore, and go through the hair with section by section under good light with this lice comb, and in 1 to 2 inch sections, one section at a time.
So show me. Yeah, I'm going to let you use
I'm
me
gonna,
for an
I am
example.
going to, and I
okay?
hope I don't find anything, Lisa. But,
I hope not.
I would put you under good light just like we are now, and I would go through with the knit comb just section by section. When I'm done with this, I'd pin the rest of the hair back, take down the next section and go through it, one thing at a time. And what I would do then is, after I'm finished going through it section by section with this comb, I would go through, and if there's anything left, I would just pull it with my fingernails out of the hair. Again, it's so important to get all the knits out. Simultaneously, I would wash all their linens in hot water, any of the clothes that they've worn the past couple of days. It's important to wash them in hot water, dry it on the hot cycle, wash your combs and your brushes and any headgear the child has worn, or ribbons or decorative things.
Sure.
Anything that's come in contact with the head. I don't even focus so much on vacuuming the cars and the house. I've focused more on washing what they've come in contact with, the heads come in contact, and getting all those knits out.
Let's talk about prevention. Can we prevent it in the first place?
Unfortunately, not really. There's no way to prevent it. Kids, especially small children, come in contact, close contact with each other frequently, and the way to prevent your child from getting reinfested is to make sure that if they have cousins or playmates that they are playing with a lot, to make sure that those children are lice-free as well.
So the daily shampoos, not necessarily 100%?
No.
Okay. All right, Diane, thank you so much. Very important information if you have a kid. And to learn more about head lice, go to WBOC.com and click on our picture at the top of the page. Well, something else that can really make you feel uneasy, robocalls, especially if you're on the National Do Not Call Registry. A little later, find out how to get rid of robocalls for good.
And maybe you're trying to get rid of an old prom dress. Coming up, I'll tell you about an organization that will take it off your hands and help use it to create a special night for someone in need.
Delmarva Life will be right back.